And Shub, we are live. Okay, awesome. Wow. I'm so glad we did not get the last 15 minutes on camera. Holy shit, could you imagine?
Hey, unless people wanted to be re-traumatized with us.
Educational. It was historical.
Yeah, hey guys, get in the comments. Were you... what do I even ask? Like, how do you...
Were you on Tumblr?
Were you Super Hulak fans?
So you may be entitled to financial compensation.
We deserve a fucking discount.
Veterans discount.
Oh god. Oh god. Well, no, but it's like, well, I try to get into Supernatural, and I really, like, even though I was like a sophomore, I just did not see the appeal. Like, I just didn't get it. But I imagine you had to be in like 8th grade to get it, apparently, because it was like super cool, like edgy, sexy dudes or whatever. I'm not entirely sure.
It wasn't that they were sexy. It was that they were sad and covered in blood.
There you go.
And people thought they were sexy.
Oh?
I mean, it's not that they weren't, but I feel like that wasn't the main draw.
Who were?
The Supernatural Bros.
Oh yeah.
Well,
oh god. Oh god. The trenches.
Were y'all ever into Welcome to Night Vale?
Yes.
No.
I'm a little bit into
I got lost.
the book now. Fair. I'm a little bit into the book now. It really is just cosmic horror for Doctor Who fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's just like, they're gay. Also,
I did know, waiting for the bus in the rain, waiting for the bus in the rain.
Waiting for the bus,
Hathor's
the
diary.
bus is late.
Oh, hell yeah. Good vibes indeed.
I love it.
This is all her stickers. Because she's a 24-year-old kid.
Hell
She
yeah.
never left 2008.
She's me.
Is this her right?
You should get her a Lisa Frank journal.
Oh. No, she likes pink.
Lisa Frank is pink.
Lisa Frank's, I feel like, more purple and galaxy themed.
It's all
I'm
kind
gonna
of like
prove-
neon.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Oh yeah, she does have like the unicorn and rainbow stuff too.
I feel like
I
in
have
my
some-
brain, it's still 2013. People still say RAR
There we
and
go.
X3 unironically.
Well, no, that is very much an ironic use of that, I would assume.
Somewhere
Oh
between.
god.
I have some Lisa Frank stickers on my Cowrie notebook. That
Aww.
felt fitting.
It's very fitting. They make Lisa Frank pink Crocs.
Okay,
I've
well,
never owned a pair of Crocs in my entire life.
I did when I was
I
young.
did when I was
they
a
were
kid.
shit brown.
Honestly, I kind
My
of like
parents
the
said, and I
idea
quote,
that
they
you
go
just
with
have
everything. So,
You just have
Oh
little
my
things
God.
you put
It
in the
goes
bowl.
with everything.
Brown.
It in
Brown.
fact did not go with
they
anything.
in fact did not go with anything.
For a while, I had the ones that had like the fluffy lining inside, and they
Oh.
got so gross.
The Krugs.
The Crocs. Wait,
They
guys,
were
we gotta
gross.
join the music.
Yeah,
Oh
good.
shit! I was
Come
right.
join. Oh, yes.
The chorus of shit was excellent.
No, but
What
like,
kind of what are the little charms on Crocs called?
the
gibbets?
Krangles.
Gibbets.
Gibbets.
They're called
Thank you.
gibbets? What'd you call me?
Wait. No.
What did you just? And during Pride Month
And
too.
during-
God. Cancelled.
Well,
No.
well, Sherry died of a broken heart, guys. It's so sad we only have 3 players now.
Wait.
I'm calling Drew's phone. Wait.
Oh,
You're
God.
driving to his house. Wait.
Kate, I never thought
Knocking
that,
at his
who is
door.
that? Who is that guy on Critical Role that they had to like remove for all his problematic behavior?
Oh, Ryan. Fuck that guy.
No. What was it? What was his like character name?
Oh, Tiberius.
Yeah,
Fuck that
Kate,
guy.
You're our Tiberius now.
Oh,
No! Good
That's so mean.
No.
That's so fucking uncalled for, Drew.
Oh, me saying that we were just we were calling her a homophobe.
No.
I'm glad that being called Tiberius is worse than being called a homophobe.
Admittedly, he's a human being, and deserves respect as a fundamental human being, but
Nah.
also not good behavior on the show. It was gross.
Nah, fuck him.
Yeah, one, we are just shooting the shit, no need for drama, but also, like, just be good to your fellow man, inside and outside of D&D. Like, just be cool. It's not that hard. But yes, we are back.
Anyways.
Okay, so any other announcements?
The whiplash.
That's gonna go down in fucking infamy of like, don't call me Tiberius, we were just calling you a homophobe 5 seconds ago.
Also, just
Oh,
like the way in which I cannot use it very much, but during Pride Month, I'm always just cracking my neck, ready to get being like, that's so transphobic.
Yeah.
What's that fucking like? As soon as like June 1st at midnight.
July 1st comes, all of our names pop up as typing on Discord, and you just know you're about to receive the most heinous shit in the war. Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay.
Guys, we can't get canceled yet. We haven't been uncanceled or whatever the opposite of
It's called
canceled is.
popular.
Ah,
Okay.
God.
what's
So,
that like?
any other? Oh, we're gonna find out one day. Anyway,
July
one-
1st at midnight, we all get marked excommunicado.
Bye, guys. Okay, but with all that, acknowledging, fucking what? No, wait, what was it called? Wattpad?
Wattpad
Wattpad.
and AO3.
What? Yes, Kate.
Nothing.
Okay,
I
excellent.
shouldn't judge. You weren't there. You weren't there.
What was it? What happened? I missed it.
It's Wattpad.
Wattpad.
What did he
Got it.
say?
Wattpad.
You're reading
I-
fanfiction.
Whataburger!
I didn't read. I don't know how to read. These just like symbols
point
on
and
them,
laugh.
okay?
Point and laugh.
There was a fan fiction for a Flash game where like the demon lord guy's tragic backstory was that he like lost a game of marbles and then got really mad and then just decided to become an evil dictator or something, I guess.
Goddamn. Okay, with all of that,
Welcome to Wattpad.
is there anything other? Oh my! Oh, got it. This is like mouse rat, house mouse all over again. Holy shit! It's like 24 hours ago.
It's going in the chat.
Okay, is there any
Mouse
more announcements about Wattpad, fucking AO3, Tumblr sexy boys, anything else? And now it's
Sexy men.
immortalized. Sexy
Sexy
men.
man.
Sexy men.
You-
Sexy boys is a whole other horrific side of Tumblr that we are not talking about.
Okay. I feel like I'm a dad talking to kids right now. I'm like, I do not know what
What
any
did
of the
you like?
words-
Sports?
It's like I want to talk about the pigskin. God damn it! Like, get off your iPad.
Listen, I know a few pigskins.
I'm just trying to ride my tractor.
You're
I
not out
just
there
sent
breaking
Kate to a
stallions.
different dimension. I sent
my
Kate
gosh.
to hell.
Oh my god.
I need
It really
to
feels
stop.
like you're speaking thieves' cant right now. Like I really have no idea what you're saying.
That should be a new subclass of Rogue.
Tumblr.
Hey yo, what's up, everybody?
Oh god.
Hey, I like your shoelaces.
What does
I
it
don't get that
mean?
one.
Do you like Girl in Red?
stole them from the president.
Hello.
Can we enter into the
I feel
world
like
where
I've
I
heard
have
that
control
part. I
over
do
all
not
the
remember
languages, so I know what the fuck is going on?
Okay. I think my 13-year-old has escaped out of my mouth, and I can
It's gonna be a
continue.
great session.
I love how it's gonna be like
Shut
very
up.
like very serious. Like it's like you guys are gonna. By the way, this energy is amazing because you're gonna be meeting with like the most important people in the country, like all in one room, and it's like you will ride out on our most beautiful pony, and we're all just gonna fucking break, and we're all just gonna start crying.
Does it have
What's
a
the
rainbow
pony's name?
tail?
Twilight Sparkle?
Rainbow Dash?
Oh, is it Fluttershy?
Pinkie Pie?
Rarity.
Applejack?
And are we all ready to play
Very
some
unfortunate
D&D?
that between us we managed to name all of the ponies.
Shining
Anyway, we're
Armor?
ready.
There's gotta be
For the right
aren't there,
reasons.
like,
For the
dozens
right
of
reasons,
characters
we
in that
named
show?
them.
We're ready.
Pure
We're ready.
intentions.
Okay, we're ready.
We're ready.
Okay. My character's a failure. Okay,
Whenever-
let's go.
Whenever,
Hathor is like trying not to throw up the course. She's like,
yeah, no, we'll get there. I'll learn a little bit about that.
I'm a bitch. Let's go.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so, are we all ready to play some D&D?
yeah.
Yes, and yes. Then with that, one deep and cleansing breath, let's hop right into it, okay?
Please.
Okay.
All right, everybody please join me. Clean opening. Okay. You guys are all failures. The nation is in
Yep.
shambles. Okay.
Okay.
Everything after the breath is canon. Everybody buckle your
Okay.
buckle. Okay.
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 So I shit you not, the first line that I have written is we cut away from this solemn and calm evening. So it immediately
was assaulted.
shows.
Why is it so funny?
Did we all smoke a bowl before we came on?
I
here?
got a
Like, what's
case of the
happening?
giggles
I feel like I
tonight.
did, but I didn't.
We
I
just
swear.
mentioned fucking
I'm
Tumblr
so
sexy
happy.
men, and it just was all downhill from there. Okay.
Listen, you brought out the teenage girl in all of us, and we
Exactly.
Whoa.
We have no control over it. It's a being that possesses our minds and
just bubbling
Sort of.
right under the surface,
Yeah.
ready to
You know,
arise.
like, the Uwu X3 teenage girl phase. I'm going through that like now. Like
that's not as bad. That's not
So
the
proud
worst.
of you.
Exactly.
Live
Thank
your
you.
best life.
Yes.
Yes, queen.
But
You're
also
beautiful.
X3 and like $3C and Uwu.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's just,
Useful
I mean, that's
ability
just
You're an
brother. Fuck
icon.
yeah.
That's not harmful.
No, that's not
Right.
toxic. That's
Oh.
not pick me energy.
Yeah.
Tony.
So what if when I type :3, I'm doing it with
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 what?
ease?
evil.
Oh,
Intention?
then we support your wrongs.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, speaking about
Okay.
the ways in which you guys are all wrong and that you did wrong actions. So we cut away from the solemn evening that was the Harvest Day Festival. A day of such merry and a game oh so royal turned dastardly and cruel by the vampire known as Winter Scott Key. This music is really epic and it shouldn't be, so let me change the music. You're losers. You're all
Da,
losers.
da, da, da.
Oh, no.
That's better. Okay,
Hey, we're hot losers.
that is true. You
Yes.
did you are hot losers.
We tried our best. Do we get a participation trophy?
There's no crying in pursuit capture.
There's no
say
crying in
that-
festivals.
Imagine
the
being the captain of the
satisfaction.
guard because you were gonna have to chew out literally every single other guard that was stationed who could have stopped Winter Scott Key, and every single guard folded like a cheap suit. Like truly was not even a factor. But so we cut
Folded
away.
like a beach chair.
We cut away from that evening. Hawthor being present for all of it, wheezing and coughing and throwing up water, just exhausted from the chase. And although we know that Winter Scott Key did not work alone, his employer is still mysterious. This coven, located somewhere far east in Allatour. Days begin to pass as we cut away from this evening. And the minor lords and ladies gathered within the capital begin to return to their duchies, and the common people visiting Jumelage scatter back to their assorted villages, cities, and hovels as rumors of vampires, magic, and war frighten them to the point of fleeing. We're going to tie up one final loose end now. So would I be able to get a group survival roll from everyone? Now, instead of everyone rolling individually, Cherie, you will roll for the LaCroix family, Cass for the Pavels, Blurso for the Bassettes, and Hawthor, you will roll for the common people, okay?
Ooh.
I just want
I'll fucking take that.
I just want a group survival roll, and the DC that everyone has to beat is a 15. Or at least half of you have to beat is a 15.
Is
I
it
got a
with the
3.
powered modifier or just flat?
With your modifiers, yes.
Yikes.
I have a +6 to survival, so that's a 17.
Natural 20.
Okay, nat 20.
That's a 12.
12.
So a 10.
Okay. As Castle Untre is put on high alert after that evening, two figures are caught trying to escape using the underground canals beneath the city. 4 feet tall and cloaked from head to toe in brown leather, these two figures are apprehended by the combined force of both the common people, the servants of the castle, as well as a combination of LaCroix guards patrolling. Uncovering them, they are discovered to be wordless, almost conscious-free kobold vampire spawn. They are hateful, violent beings with the ability to shapeshift. They are vampiric kobolds that Sherry, you'd remember this, Winter Scott Key was smuggling into the castle. Whatever plan that he had for the royal game involved them, and they simply never were given the signal to operate, and therefore simply tried to get away. But they were apprehended and placed within the dungeons of Castle Untre. The 5 main noble houses all stay at Castle Untre, fortifying it with their house guard, and standing in strong support of their king and queen in such trying times. But even with such displays of solidarity, whispers and rumors begin to spread like wildfire within the castle walls. How could the king and queen allow such a thing to happen? Oh, I heard the captain of the guard was in on the whole thing. Did you hear about the rumor about Jessica Renoir and Damien Dubois? Aren't they both betrothed to another? The Honorable Viscount was cursed out by the king. Bierhaze Basset could have stopped the portals and chose not to. Angels and demons lay together. Whoever would come from such a vile place? Time continues to pass. Days become nights, nights become days. The mystery, the tension, both are soon broken, as we are going to jump exactly 2 days forward as the morning sun begins to break over the rolling hills of Allatour. Each one of you has a particularly unique awakening. Your eyes open and you all gasp for breath as you all feel fundamentally different. Better for some reason, oddly enough. Not concerning the Harvest Day Festival. Your thoughts and your anxieties are still your own, but physically you feel stronger in some way. And you are all able to level up to level 3.
Oh, amazing.
With this odd awakening, I'm going to touch on each of you and tell you what you see as you wake up. Okay?
Yeah.
Hathor. As you awake, you sit up, and you are able to see that where your arms, legs, torso, and head were pressed against the sheets as you slept, there's no immediate danger, but you've completely burned through the royal silk cloth and heavy wool blankets. You haven't seen such an uncontrolled, unconscious flare-up since when your abilities first started to manifest. And circling your head, an arrow, pink and glowing like a sunset campfire, is made of pure radiant fire. And wherever you look, the arrow moves to what you set your focus on.
Immediately waking up, she's like, oh, shit, God, no, Aphrodite, why? And look up, see the arrow, and I go, and we'll just try to make it dance.
Effortless movement with either your eyes or your mind or your whistles, whatever you have it be.
She's like,
as it matches your rhythm, as that is what you see as you wake up.
oh, are they gonna charge me for the bed? It's fine.
Cass. Oh no, sorry, Allatour, yes. Oh, okay.
No, I didn't understand if we were doing a full or just littles. It's fine.
Little things. Got
it.
I gotta get the main plot started. Cass, as you wake up, your eyes open, and in front of you, as you begin to sit up, you see a shimmer, ever so faint, as if it is heat coming off of a freshly baked cake or a pie. And as you almost like unintentionally kind of press your head into it, you're able to smell desserts, like sweet wine and lemon cakes and fried bread and sugar and fruit. And you're able to see flashes of white roses and antlers.
And what was the second thing?
So white roses and antlers.
Antlers.
As you have this rift in front of you, these kind of like weird just kind of like just this odd like hot air. And as you have these scents kind of hit you, do you do anything to this rift?
I take a second to breathe deep and just like linger on the memories that brings to me and allow myself to miss it for a moment.
And as you breathe deep, eyes closed, memories flooding back to you, these shimmers in the air, they disappear and they are sucked within your lungs, and you feel a familiar sense of power fill your breast. Make sense?
Yeah.
Blurso, as your eyes open, you don't even have to move before you see it. Because as you open your eyes, only about 3-4 inches away from you, leaning over your head, a figure stares back at you. This figure has no eyes, it has no face, it has no muscle or any markers of sex. What do you do?
I ask it, are you my sleep paralysis, Steven? Then I'm like, oh wait, I'm moving. I guess not. Okay, who are you?
Do you sit up? Do you just kind of you stay laying down and you just start talking to it?
Well, I feel like if I sit up, I'll bonk into it because it's like right next to my face, right?
Okay. Yes. So you just kind of ask it. You just kind of ask it what it's doing.
Yeah.
You hear it go. You realize that this figure, as it kind of like you feel like droplets of liquid coming out of its mouth as it tries to mimic your jaw moving, and as some of the droplets get into your mouth,
Oh, gross.
you're able to taste. It's a dark purple liquid, and you realize that this ever-shifting creature in front of you is not made up of any solid mass, but is instead made completely of liquid. This is a being made completely of red wine.
I take seconds to appreciate. At first, I'm just shocked. I'm like, bleh. And I'm like, oh, it's a nice red blend you got going on there. What is your composition?
As you move your fingers to your mouth, the figure made of wine moves their fingers as well.
You see, I'm gonna just like do an exaggerated motion and see if it's just copying me like a mirror.
With whatever motion you do, this figure tries to copy it as best as possible.
Ooh. I reach out to touch it like the hands.
As you reach out, touch on the shoulder or on the chest.
I want to see if it'll like mirror my hands. So it'll be like that sort of thing.
As it moves its hand towards yours, now approaching it. As your fingers and your palms begin to touch, you watch as this figure, and it completely loses its form as soon as you touch it, and the bed and the floor and you are completely stained with red wine as this figure suddenly decomposes in front of you.
Trying to run down a list of people in my head who might take me seriously if I say I was visited by a wine ghost and didn't just spill a bunch of wine all over my bed.
We cut away again, finally to Cherie. You come to consciousness, and you can feel the side of your face. You can feel it pulsing with your heartbeat. Checking a nearby silver platter, kind of just like wondering what's going on, you're able to see nail marks where you dragged your hand down your face a few days ago. Veins reach out on either side of these nail marks, and they pulse a sickly purple. And then they fade, and the scratches in your cheek begin to heal rapidly. You take stock of this, and you feel that your muscles in your biceps, your triceps, your quads, your calves, your pecs, they all feel looser. They have a bit more mass than the night before. That good? Okay.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah.
On this day, as you all awake and you all go about your business, Very quickly, people begin to approach you. Allatour, within your room, you are able to hear at the door.
I'm naked. Hang on.
All right, ma'am. Okay. And this, you hear a woman's voice that you've not heard before.
Allatour will fall out of the bed, and be like, "Oh, okay," and we'll try to like gather all the burned shit and just throw it out the window.
Okay, you strip the whole bed, comforter and all, and out of the 6th story window it goes as it...
I check before I chuck.
It's
you
just,
know?
well, it's just cloth, and it just like soak in like bedspreads, and it just catches the wind and it's just gone. It's just fully gone.
And she will get dressed in her regular clothes, pull on her practical walking boots. She still has blisters from running in sandals. And she will go to the door and open it.
As you open the door, adorned in an apron, a white cover shawl, and a white hood, you are able to hear slight coughing as looking up at you, shorter than you, maybe only like maybe 5'3", 5'4". Looking at you is the server woman who you casted Spare the Dying on in the kitchens a few days ago.
Oh, hi.
She has her head kind of hung low, only looking up for very spotty eye contact, as she says, "I'm very sorry to disturb you. I did not want to wake you at an early hour, and I apologize if I have done so."
Sun's up, so I am, so...
She chuckles politely and says, I have been being nursed back to health in the infirmary, but I wanted to come and give you a personal thank you, and it is not much, but it's from my personal stores as just a token of appreciation. And she hands you one of the smallest satchels, like the smallest little leather pouches you've ever seen, as you can hear coins jangling within.
Darling, I don't help people for money. Take her hands and curl her fingers around the satchel.
As you take her hands, you can feel like a slight shake to her as she's, cold hands of anxiety as your warm palms clasp around them and just close her hands as she goes, it's a little amount.
My request, if you can manage it, and you can refuse, of course. Could I see your face?
She looks up at you, and as you gaze on her face, white skin, black eyebrows, she's a pretty woman. She's not in no way exceptional, in no way ugly, and basically looks the same as any of the nobles you have seen so far.
Yeah. Can I do an insight check on her?
Yes, you may.
Can I get advantage?
Sure. Yeah, I'll be kind. You're waking up. You burn
No. I rolled a 3 and then a 1. So a 9.
Okay. Allatour, you read this as fear.
Okay.
That might be your own personal anxieties, but that's what you read this as.
Oof. Oh. Allatour will gently let go of her hands and just kind of, like, lower herself a little bit so she can look the woman in the eyes and be like, "What's your name?"
My name is Lila.
A lovely name, Lila. Now, Lila, all that I need is to know that you are alive and that you're well. And I would just like to say that I am so glad another beautiful soul was not lost during the events of that chase. And I want you to take this gold, and I want you to buy something nice for yourself.
She looks to you and she goes, I wouldn't lie to you, milady. It's only a few silver and a few copper that I was able to scrounge together.
Can I have rolled a sleight of hand check to slip some gold in there?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I'll allow that. Beat a 10.
Ha! I got 12.
You got a 12?
15.
As you placed her hands onto the satchel with just a pirate's sleight of hand, you were able to slip 2 gold coins in.
Oh, really? It felt pretty heavy to me. I think you should check again later when you have time.
And she looks up at you, still incredibly anxious, but goes, confused, not really being well. You wink. She immediately goes, "Thank you, milady." She turns, then she disappears down the hallway once again.
Oh no! Am I scary now? Oh no! What do I do? I don't want people to be afraid of me. Where's Higgy? Do I have my broom back?
Speaking, we will deal with all of that in a little bit. Speaking of stewards and stewardesses, very quickly, Sherry, you receive a knock on your door.
Am I alone?
In your room?
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
Roll for bone.
Heads or tails? Drew, call it.
Let's go for head.
It's heads!
Hey, yo!
What do you mean by bone?
Sherry, as you wake up, you do not have your usual armor. Now, I'm not going to ask. Sherry, you wake up and you're in whatever clothing you think Sherry would be comfortable with, as you know that Palm is in the bed next to you, as you kind of stand and admire yourself as you see your wounds healing.
Mm-hmm. I think she's just like her and Palm have been doing this for enough time that they're comfortable around each other, so I think she's just in like a black tunic.
Okay, got it. In that case, you hear a fainter knock. You again, heightened senses. You know that someone is knocking on your door right next door to where Palm is set up. Make sense?
Oh, so I'm in her room?
I'm gonna say that you're in her room just to make things easy. Yes.
Okay. It kills her to do it, but she shakes Palm awake, gently.
Palm's, as you are the first thing she sees, a slight smile creeps across her face.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I need you to run interference with whoever's at my door so that I may sneak back.
It is so early. Okay. As Palm, understanding the dynamic, she throws the covers off of her. Very, a similar nightgown to the one. It was a black tunic. She's wearing a lighter pink shade. As she gets up, she throws just a quick layer on top of her, and then a robe, ties it off, and then goes to her door as you prepare yourself to get back.
Yep, just quickly getting dressed and then slips through the connecting doors.
Excellent. As you slip through the connecting doors very quick, you hear Palm go like, "Oh, I was not expecting a wake-up call from anyone. Hello, yes, are you looking for someone? The sir shall be up." And just kind of just talks to them for just kind of keeping them busy. As you, you're throwing your armor on.
Shit.
As you toss everything on,
Clank, 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 clank.
Clank.
you are able to you're able to hear the servants once again talking to Palm outside. They're still outside your door.
I take a second, compose myself, and I open the door.
As you open the door, you see the servants kind of their sides to you now. You are able to see 2 of them, and they're talking about. They turn, they look at you, and they both turn to face you, and they grunt as if they're holding something heavy, incredibly heavy. Because as you look at these servants standing arm in arm, you're able to see they're holding something very important. One of them holding the sheath, one of them holding the handle. They're holding your sword in their hands.
She hesitates a moment because everything within her is screaming to grab it, but she doesn't want to risk hurting these people. You said they're smaller?
Well, so these people, like, shorter than you, certainly. Yeah. But like, it seems like they're both like, it seems like each of them are like having a hard time holding like 2 of them are having a hard time holding this sword.
Like lean down a bit so I'm at their eye level, and I say, "Thank you."
But of course, sir, we were able to find this in the shaft. George has said that you're never seen without it. We decided to just kind of track back, and as the guards were investigating the dumbwaiter shaft, we found it at the bottom. Might have been chipped, dinged up a bit, but should be functional for you. So it was a difficult time carting this all the way up the stairs, I will admit, though.
Please let me take this weight off you, and with one hand I take it back from them.
With one hand, you effortlessly take it out of both of their hands, and they are, again, sweating. They are in simple, like, steward clothing, and they are dumbstruck with the ease at which you're able to move this massive object as you're able to attach it, sheath and all, back to your belt.
Who do you report to?
They kind of look to each other and go, we report to the head steward and the head stewardess of this wing.
Please tell them that you have received a glowing review from Sir Cherie of House LaCroix for your bravery this morning.
They look to each other, they kind of like pat each other as they like get kind of excited. They steady themselves, they both look to you, they nod their heads, they bow very slightly, and they go, "Thank you, sir. We'll go and we'll tell them right now."
Thank you.
And as you hear, "Yippee!" they click their heels and they rush off down the hall.
Yahoo! Yahoo! We'll watch them as they go, look both ways, look at Palm, who I'm assuming is still outside in the hallway.
Yes.
Just say, "Good morning, my lady."
Give me an insight check. As Palm, she breathes very deeply and goes, "Good morning, sir."
Oh, it's only a 12.
Only a 12? Palm blinks, beautiful eyelashes batting in the wind as she smiles at you gently. 40 lashes! As we cut away from you, Sherry. Blurso. You receive a knock at the door.
Come in.
Quite peculiar. The door opens up and you are, I believe you are sitting in bed, stained with wine, all over you, all over the sheets.
Yes, I am.
Well, hello.
Stepping into the room, you are able to see a very well put together noblewoman it is a very flattering summer dress, layers, adornments, jewelry of gold and silver. As she comes in and she goes, "Oh, good sir, you're not even ready. I'm so sorry. I thought I heard you to call me to come in."
Wait, I am like clothed.
You're clothed,
though, right?
but you're in bed and stained. So
I'm just gonna sit up in bed. I'm gonna stay under the covers. I'm just gonna be like, "Just so you know, I did not spill this wine myself. I was visited by a wine ghost."
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
I'm telling the truth. Okay.
That's why I said not deception, because you are telling the truth.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's perception. I need persuasion.
Why does no one believe me?
8.
An 8. She goes, "I have had friends who have been visited by the ghost of wine in midst of their failures as well. But that is all right."
Oh, you're making a joke about. I see, but it's true. It was wine, and it just like de-apparated and fell on my bed.
She looks at you as she goes, "Sir Blurso, my name is Valerie Reverdin. I am one of the women.
Africa, nice to meet you.
I remembered where you were because I remembered your 2 vests, and the guards speak very highly of how you committed yourself to chasing after the dastardly, what we would assume to be a mercenary."
Oh, why? Thank you. You know me. If I see a vampire mercenary, I gotta go after him.
Give me a persuasion check.
Is that not like exactly what happened? Ooh, 17.
17. As she goes, "What an incredibly noble thing to hear. Chivalry is in very short supply nowadays. If you would like, I can step outside as you ready yourself, because I was hoping you would lend me your ear so that I may ask you questions about your noble pursuits."
Certainly, I will ready myself at once.
Okay. Valerie looks at you, she nods her head, she walks outside, and with what speed do you ready yourself?
The normal self-readying speed.
Okay. About 10 minutes go by. As you have readied yourself, you get your usual sommelier garb back on, as you know that she is still waiting outside your door.
Alrighty, I go outside.
As you go outside, Valerie looks over to you. She extends a hand and waits for you to lead her into your room.
Alrighty. Inside we go.
As you lead her into your room, you two are able to sit down at a table, and she pulls out a small notebook and begins just taking notes on your exploits, asking you questions, very flatteringly so, and just tries to document exactly how the chase went for you.
Alrighty. I'm gonna ask, who are these notes that you're taking for?
I write penny dreadfuls, and I believe the chase within the castle will be an incredible story which those might hear. But I was interested in you, specifically.
Of course. Well, you see, I was very bravely pursuing this. It was all quite impressive to any sort of third-party observer, I assure you. It was the whole thing.
Your luscious locks flowing in the wind as you ran after the vampire in pursuit. Give me a quick insight check before we cut away.
Alrighty. Insight. Oop. 15.
15. You have seen this happen to other people. You've never been on the receiving end yourself. This is a very early stage of courting between two minor lords and ladies within Allatour, as this is a very formal way of interacting, as a way of trying to develop some kind of romantic connection down the line. And you understand
so
this.
this person's writing fan fiction on me because she's got the hots for me, is what you're saying?
You don't get the sense. I'll say with that, you don't think that she's lying to you. You just think that this was an excuse to come talk to you.
I kind of wanted to read her little penny dreadful though. About me. Yeah,
she's not. Well, it needs to be written first. She needs to get the information, then she will write the proper thing.
Okay, I thought you were saying that she was lying and she was just.
No, I said she's not lying to you.
Oops.
That is the opposite of me saying that she's lying to you.
Didn't interpret the not. Okay.
You are all good. But as we cut away from this, as even in the midst of such tragedy, lives continue to go on. All of these occurrences in your days, the odd awakenings of you all, are quite possibly the least interesting things to happen this day. As reports begin to come in, and again they begin to spread like wildfire, the lords and ladies that you traveled with pass it down, the king and queen, their royal guard talk to you, Sherry, the noble men and women begin to talk to you, Hathor, and you, Blurso. As reports begin to come in from Village Estrange, Manger Bizarre, and Amidon de Vas, and they all say the same thing. Oddly enough, in the middle of the night, 2 days ago, there was an exodus of thousands of bats from the castle with no name. One day following, a rolling red fire, with a cry so loud it shook the villagers to their core. As reports continue to trickle in, the details of clouds parting in the dead of night and shadows as large as lakes cast down on travelers during the day, you all understand that on the eastern side of Allatour, a dragon has awoken from a deep slumber. In the midst of all this, as days continue to pass, worry, tears, there are letters written, and the land of Allatour is sent into unsure chaos. But then letters begin coming in from Great Wound Gap and the Golden Land, and the next day, reports of the same from Soul Crusher Valley and the Fertile Coast. The next, the Sandy Mile, the Ancient Glade, the Honey River, and over the next 2 weeks, hundreds, maybe thousands of ravens begin to come in. Messengers come in, and magical reports come in, all parroting the same strange occurrences. Monsters of the day and monsters of the night, cave dwellers, hill giants, kidnapping, raids, creatures from the sea, vampires, and fae. Demons and sorcerers appearing out of thin air. In but a fortnight, the nation of Allatour has gone from a peaceful society founded on trade and mercantile goods to a nation in turmoil, racked with danger, uncertainty, and adventure in every possible nook. This comes to a head on the 14th day of your stay at Castle Untitled, as a royal council is called by the king and queen demanding the attendance of the heads of the 5 royal families. And oddly enough, the 4 of you. We cut to a war room. The nation of Allatour laid out before you in parchment as the head of noble houses stand in attendance as the king and queen enter with arms full of scrolls, a determined look, and a furious stride. You are all standing beside your noble houses, Hawthor and Sherry with the LaCroix, Blur with the Bassettes, and Cass with the Pavels, as all the houses shout over one another. We all still having a good time?
I'm sorry, I'm just in character. Sorry.
You are all good. I'm going to change the music just slightly to a less calm. Higgy stands beside Björhay's Basset, next to Blurso. You're
Does
all.
he still have my broom, or did I get that back?
Higgy gave that back to you over the course of the last 2 weeks. There have been social interactions, just kind of keeping things moving along. Make sense?
Oh yeah, I imagine there have been plenty of social interactions
yes.
between the two of us.
Yes. Obviously, you've all been keeping yourself occupied as the nation has fallen apart around you.
Love survives no matter what.
Exactly.
I still gotta pray to my God. All right.
You can't be sacrilegious. As you're all able to hear, 517 reports just today. Our Benamen can barely keep the roads secure and the ports free of pirates. We cannot afford to have a garrison in every town. But what of the dragon? If it flies west, our people will be completely defenseless. This mysterious coven has been silent for weeks. Who's to say that winter was not just spinning a tall tale? A tall tale is one that says you're any use at all. The LaCroix have no room to talk. Their captain of the guard seemed very chummy with Bastard! And you just watched as these noble families begin lurching over the tables toward each other in a fit of rage. Sherry, you watch as George's LaCroix attempts to climb towards the head of the Pavel household, Alwyn. As Cass Alwyn does the same and lunges toward George's.
I do not pull him back. This is great.
I grab George's by the scruff of his neck and yank him back to his feet. As you
yank George back, he kind of snaps at you a little bit. Yes, Hawthorne.
Can I cast Calm Emotions?
What a fucking rad idea!
Makes a charisma saving throw. They can choose to save the throw if they wish. So Hathor can be like, listen, let's all just calm down. Do we need help calming down? Let's take a deep breath.
Wow, those are 6 rolls, all under 10s. That is nuts. As all of them kind of
I think she just snaps really loudly to get their attention and goes, take a deep breath. We are adults here.
Hathor, as you snap, they all take a deep breath at your command, and you watch as each of the heads of the noble houses, George's looks over to, oh my god, there's so many fucking names, I apologize. The LaCroix couple looks at each other, the Pavels, the Renoirs, the Bissets, and the last one, whose names I fucking forget. They all look at each other, they all, in this
Dubois.
moment, Dubois, there we go. They all recognize the love shared between them, and they all settle.
We're all trying to do the same thing here. Take care of the people, take care of the land.
As everybody settles, as love washes over them, the king and the queen enter into the room. And you're able to watch the king and the queen look to you, Hathor, taking control of the situation, controlling these people, helping them control their emotions as they go. Excellent work, as the king speaks to you.
Yep, that's what I'm here to do, and I will just very awkwardly try to shuffle a little bit behind Cherie, because I don't understand royalty or any of this shit. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to these fuckers. I spent the entirety of that being in that underground little fucking whatever, just going. Oh, I think I'm coughing up blood. Oh, I think there's blood in my lungs. Oh, I haven't run that long. Oh, I have a broom. Why did I bring my broom? And that's just what she was doing in that little hidey hole.
The queen quickly approaches you in the side of the table and just kind of puts a hand to your back and goes, "Thank you once again for the care that you gave to me and my husband. Are your lungs feeling okay? I know that you were having a rough time a few weeks ago, and I want to make sure that everything is healed properly."
Yeah, I am doing well. I have started back up on my cardio routine. Thank you for asking. I appreciate the thought. Looks at Cherie like,
Just nods.
Milady.
Just nods at you.
As the anything from Blurso or Cass in these moments.
Had been fighting a grin at all of the dramatic theatrics of everyone arguing, and is pretending not to be disappointed that they're over.
As you are thinking about those theatrics, let me just quickly find the doc so I get the names correct. As you're like, oh, the theatrics are over, you'll notice that I did not speak to you directly about any kind of odd instance with, or like any kind of occurrence with Cass after that instance of those sweet smells, because your instance is happening right now. Because as you look over and you're like, oh, more drama, where is it? As you look over and you see that with the Dubois parents and with the Renoir parents, you're able to see with the Renoirs, Jessica, and with the Dubois, Damien. And as you're looking around, you see that Jessica Renoir is making direct eye contact with you. And as you look over, you see that Damien Dubois is making direct eye contact with you as well.
I look at one, I look at the other, I look at one, I look at the other, and I just kind of sit back with my arms crossed. I give a wink to one, I give a wink to the other, and then just shrug.
Damien looks at
They
you.
don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
Damien looks at you completely flat. Jessica, again, like built kind of like farmer woman. She nods her head to the side and begins walking away from the war table as Damien follows in behind her very quickly. And as they are passing in between people, like as their eyes become visible, they keep looking at you and they nod for you to join them.
You're the unicorn.
I'm not sure what that means.
I am going to be like, oh, and I'm going to like lean over to my father and be like, excuse me, I'll be right back. And I'm gonna try and subtly follow them out.
As you say, Rebecca, you immediately just kind of you dip out as fast as possible. As the king and queen take command of the situation, and they say, the king basically speaks up and goes like, "Friends, these are times of long nights. Monsters and pirates and bandits and vampires, we cannot make enemies of each other. While we are set upon by the dead and the lost." As the door closes, as you guys kind of step aside, as Damien behind Jessica kind of looks to you and just very quietly kind of like stands shoulder to shoulder with you and goes, "The Honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn prevailed the third." They have southern
That's me.
accents.
That
I can only do so many French versions, okay?
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And how do you find yourself this fine morning?
Oh, you know, much drama. Oh, crazy. I find myself well. I find myself healthy. How do you both find each other? How do you find each other separately?
She is dumbstruck at that statement.
Is literally just like cannot fight the grin at just like the drama and being privy to it, and is just eating this up.
Jessica looks to you and goes, "We find ourselves in good company of both family and friends, and although not currently with them, my betrothed and his betrothed are going to be incredibly happy to hear that Winter Scott Key did not do a number on us, even though he burst into a room in which we were having a private conversation concerning trade routes and concerning other political endeavors."
Oh, of course. You were discussing them thoroughly. I will be both blunt and kind to the two of you. I am an honorable man. I do not do things without reason. I may simply keep in mind my... What is the word I'm looking for? Keep in mind my discretion if I am ever to call upon your families for favor.
So appropriate.
For I was simply on a great chase. Who am I to control what I lay my eyes upon, as I am honorably attempting to save the lives of the king and queen?
As Jessica looks to you, you're able to notice, well, first of all, now that she's wearing clothes, you can see what, she typically wears, and you're able to see a wide straw farmer's hat, elegantly woven, along with leather straps and lighter cloth. Her hands currently covered in gloves of like an expertly crafted leather, one that you realize as like gardener's gloves. The Renoir's outfits mimic their trade of farming and their trade of elegant food. And as she looks to you, she removes her hat from her head as she kind of shakes out her golden locks. As she looks to you and goes, she looks over her shoulder and goes, "All right, Cassiano, cut the shit, all right? We're both practical people here. To not insult you, but to just speak factually, there are many rumors going around that you are not an honorable man."
Unfortunate.
Indeed. And the rumors being so strong that whatever kind words the king may have said to you at the bottom of that lake bed may get twisted up in the social convention of it all.
Sounds like we both have things we could do to help each other then.
Certainly so. Now, my dear family friend Damien here, he does not talk much, but know that he is a determined man. Do not mistake his gentleness for weakness. And with me myself being the eldest child of my parents, you yourself being the eldest as well, there will come a time, not today, not tomorrow, but we will find ourselves in positions of power. And we will have to find a way to work alongside each other.
Of course. I'll be honest with you. The entirety of the delight for me is simply being privy to the dirty little secrets. I have no need to spread them, nor do I have anything to gain by doing so. I have much more to gain by keeping it so that you might toss in a good word for me here and there in influential circles.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion. That is a 22.
That is a 22. Jessica looks to you. She nods, and she goes, well, that sounds agreeable.
Shake on it.
She removes her thick gardener's glove, and she places a hand on yours, and traditional southern etiquette, 2 pumps, then down, as she looks to you and goes, well, then I will make sure to try to quell the rumors of the king cursing out the Honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Prevail III. If rumors can be fought regarding Damien and I, and the falsehoods that were seen by those following the chase.
What falsehoods?
Jessica, with no more words after that laugh, turns and re-enters the war council here.
I give a minute so that it doesn't look like I was with them. Maybe I go fetch a glass of something bubbly and return.
A LaCroix?
You go.
A LaCroix. I go back in
person with a
and
drink.
I grip it.
Grip it and rip it, dude. Come
I'm
on.
just gonna make a quick
Think about it, but I decide on a beverage.
Awesome. That is a nat 20. You are able to watch as the king speak as you re-enter, having going through a speech, as he goes, Sir Cherie, Lady Hathor, Sir Bumperdinger, the Honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Prevail III. And as soon as your name is mentioned, having not been listening, you, as you crack open with the loudest possible, as the room goes silent.
It's me.
You just hear Alwyn go, my son, please join us.
Yep. Doing like the scooching past chairs, just like incredibly awkward.
Oh, excuse me.
Is
Whoops.
he is incredibly confident and comfortable, but it is awkward to watch.
Yeah, because like all eyes are on you, and it's like that feeling of everybody's waiting for you specifically.
Yep. And I was like,
As you were able to watch the king and queen just fully like look at each other, side eye, look back to you, look back at each other. It's taken like a full 30 seconds for you to get back to where you're supposed to be, as the queen goes, thank you for your service to the crown and your selfless pursuit of such a formidable enemy.
It is the least we can do, Your Majesties. I only wish we could have caught the demon before he escaped.
The king looks to you, Sir Cherie, a person of such honor and such professionalism. You are all good, Tony, not a problem at all. As the king goes, perhaps a chance will come. We wanted to give you all privileged information as garrisons of the banners of the noble houses and the entrees. They have been called to protect important trade routes, such as the roads, the main ones, the King and the Queen's Road heading east and west through the North and South Pass. But for smaller roads, for towns, it is difficult to properly garrison troops. It has been difficult finding people to deal with all of the reports constantly coming in. In response to this, we are diverting funds from the personal entree reserves in hopes to gather parties of adventurers to assist with this. Not only to quell the chaos, but also in the interest of recovering the pillar necklace, delivering us Winter Scott Key, destroying any pockets of this so-called coven if they can be found, and again, not to mention the magical goings-on.
It would be, if it is who I believe you're referring to, it would be my personal honor to remedy the mistakes made the night of the Harvest Festival. Your Majesties.
George's kind of grabs you very quickly, Sherry, as you say that, and kind of pulls you and kind of whispers in your ear and goes, Sherry, I understand the personal quest for vengeance, but you do not... As like he delicately is trying to kind of say, and you would just know this from being friends with him, he's trying to say you don't have to, but isn't telling you no. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in broken Allatour, I whisper back to him. Ever since you named me Captain of Guard, all I've done is fail. Let me at least try to fix one of them.
Georges looks to you. He looks down. He realizes what you're saying, and he understands your personal quest and says, I fear for the evil you will come across.
You don't need to worry about me.
I did not say I feared for you. As Georges backs away from you as you give that opinion to the king. The king just kind of delivering a bit more of just kind of a description of what exactly this would entail, begins to say, well, and of course, not looking to recruit nobility. We tried to handle this issue externally. We have heard tales of adventurers from Horcry and Zanwei Fu and the Palm, but we do not have time to wait for such a response. We wanted to offer all of you a privileged opportunity of an opportunity for wealth, fame, the chance to help those across the nation, and, if you so desire it, vengeance. If you would wish to accept or decline now, you certainly may, but there is no rush.
I look to my father and take a moment to make eye contact with him, and then turn back to the king and say, it would be my honor to take on such a noble quest on your behalf and on behalf of the common people of Allatour.
Alwyn looks down to you, and you notice, like, with his strong face, intimidating physique, his mouth was opened, but you spoke maybe a second before him, and as you complete your little acceptance, he looks down to you and is genuinely impressed that you would accept so quickly before he could even encourage.
I kind of raise my chin at him and try not to look too smug.
Give me a deception check.
Come on.
Deception, you say?
Come on.
Do we have coins?
I'm gonna say no, just for the fun of it.
Oh, that's a 6.
You watch as like the most imperceptible little like twinge of a smirk comes across his one cheek, and then he sees you're like very proud of yourself, like smiling, like cheekbones, like your eyes like kind of squinted as you just watch his like the smallest little amount of pride just goes back to complete blankness as he turns to the king, as he just silently goes back to being in attendance.
Oh, goodness gracious. Of course.
Win's a win.
A win's a win!
Higgy within the room looks to you, Hathor. All eyes currently on Sherry and on Cass. Looks to you, and Higgy slowly nods his head towards you, indicating that if you wish to accept, you can.
Hathor has a look on her face like, I wasn't going to ask you for permission anyways, but love you too.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, not good. That's okay. That's gonna be an 11.
With an 11, you know that Higgy wouldn't gatekeep anything from you. You've been around him for long enough that, like, if he would treat you that way, you guys would not have such a long-lasting kind of interact with each other. You know,
it would have been a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, get out of my life.
You know that this is a nod of encouragement, and it goes deeper than that. But in a situation where you are like, where it is, uncouth to speak so openly and so readily, like, with all these people around you, as you said, kind of that anxiety, the king and queen speaking to you, you're unable to kind of dig deeper into why exactly he's encouraging you to do this, at least at the moment.
Hathor will just lift her chin, and she knows why she wants to go on this quest, but she doesn't really feel the need to declare it unless somebody asks it of her.
Okay. Is that your response to the king and the queen as they give you this offer?
She will have this kind of like little half smirk as she just like sits on her floating broom. She doesn't need a chair. And she'll just be like, well, my whole job is to bring love everywhere I go, and I do believe my goddess would be quite cross with me if I didn't take the chance when I could.
The Queen Evelyn looks to you and goes, the reasoning is beautiful, and even in that, your goddess would be proud. A devoted healer, similar to myself, you certainly will have my blessing in your journeys. And with, just to kind of keep it going, unless Tony's looking for an out, as Bierhaze and Blurso chat very quickly together. Hello, Tony.
Hello.
Bierhaze, Beset, and as this offer is given to you, Blurso, do you need any counsel before accepting or denying this offer?
Probably not. I think I would just accept.
You would accept? As you... The king goes, Sir Bumperdinger, a name that carries weight, and also is very enjoyable to say. I expected you were a man of, in a world, in a nation of pageantry, having someone who cuts through the cloth and responds so earnestly is much appreciated.
Thank you for your words. I will try to keep the earnestness going.
the best of luck to you. And the best of luck to all on your noble journey. There will be a few days of preparation, but I believe your skills together, being able to stand to Winterscott Key, the Coven has no chance at all. Hear, hear.
You're here.
And with that, we're going to take a very short break. We all having a good time so far?
Yeah.
It really is the calm
Wee
after
wee.
the storm, truly. And then after this, we're gonna get into more like specific like roleplay stuff. You will all see these people again. That is obvious. It is simply getting you guys on the road. But we will be right back. Everybody, go pee, get a snack, whatever you gotta do. We will see you soon. Mwah. And we are back. Just checked, just so I can have this recorded. Oh my god, we got 39 subscribers. That's awesome. That's super cool. Woo, let's go,
Thank you
baby.
for liking our mic.
Thank you for. Okay, this is now going to become a Minecraft D&D channel where we're going to have all of our games, which is the Minecraft below them. That's the play.
That's what this square is.
Can we back
That's what this
in
square is for.
Could you fucking? Oh my god, we blow the fuck up. If I put like Temple Run right there, dear god.
Subway Surfer.
Oh my god. You know what always makes me what I laugh at all the time is when like the person playing Subway Surfers or Temple Run is just awful at it. Like you don't even have to be good. Like they're getting their ass caught by that cop like every fucking time, and I'm like, you couldn't even try like a little bit. Like
So there's mobile game
also,
got showed.
sorry, audio clip. This is Cass.
Rip it and rip it.
also, I love how
You gotta show
canned
the
goods
player.
are canon now. What's up?
You gotta show whoever's playing the mobile game you're advertising being incompetent, so the viewer thinks like, "Oh, I could do better."
I keep thinking about that where it's like,
Let it
do I
go.
for the makeover? Sorry, you go. It was your joke.
That was it. That was it. That was the entire bit.
I was just like, for the makeover, do I choose a beauty brush, a flamethrower, or the murder weapon?
I
You
hate
fail.
them. They make me so angry.
I
I'm
know.
always mad.
Well, I hate the one where it's like connect the dots. Those ones. Oh, I take psychic damage from them.
And it's like, don't pull that lever. You're gonna drop the lava on all the coins.
Exactly.
Come on!
Exactly.
You know, we're all just part of like a CIA psyop right now or some shit.
MK Ultra, it's just like fucking TikTok. No, well, the thing for me is like when it's like the games of like the knife, like where it's like the knife cutting through like the different blocks and stuff. And I look at it and I'm like, guy, I don't want to be insulting to you. I would smoke in this game. Like I don't know how you're doing so poorly.
Sometimes I cave and I go and download them,
What?
and they never look the same.
Yep.
It's
It's a
always a
completely
fully
different
different
game.
game.
Has anybody else getting
so
on
upset.
TikTok been getting recommended the Temu app, the Temu app? Where like, I've been seeing
Yes, where it's like headphones for $3.
No, that.
or-
Well, yeah, I've been seeing like advertisements of like, oh my god, Amazon doesn't want you to look at this hack, and then like the immediate next image is like, if you download this app, they give you a computer for free, and I was like, that's a good way to get my credit card stolen. I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck. How's this allowed?
I just love the
honestly?
commercials where the lady hits the whole bunch of headphones with a golf
Yeah.
with a golf
Oh, Clem,
stick.
I have not seen this
we're
one.
literally giving them away for free. The prices are too low.
I love all the ones where it's like I have 5 million power. They're all dubbed terribly.
I fucking love the memes that have spawned from that. Is so funny. Where it's like, I saw one that was an Uncharted thing. It was like, holy hell, Nate, you just killed a family of 4. That's all right, Sully. I have over 10 million power, and then it just cuts, which is so funny.
My TikTok feed is entirely just like the AI character generation videos and then like Magic the Gathering and Fortnite stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even play Fortnite, but I do play a bit of Magic.
Absolute clips. Okay, but yes, we're all ready to hop back in.
Yes.
Yes, and yes.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely perfect. As everyone agrees to become a part of this hired group, a royal entourage of adventurers like the stories of old, to help out the royal family of the Entrees, each noble family underneath them, and the country of Allatour as a whole. Several things are going to happen in succession real quick, not the show. Who wanted to get the kiss from Daddy?
From Daddy.
Wait, spoilers. Motherfucker died on the toilet like Elvis.
Like a bitch. But
Like fucking Tywin Lannister.
There
He
we
pushed
go.
too hard and
Wait.
something popped. He went,
so the general plan is for just like the stories of old, the noble adventurers of this party. They will ride out on horseback to go and travel as much of Allatour as possible, although maybe not the fastest or the most glamorous way, something befitting of the beginning of a grand tale. Now, the other noble families, through the magic of Bjorhe's Beset, will be teleported back to their castles to properly dispense wisdom and increase the morale of the people garrisoned there and as well as the general population. But before all of that happens, you are all given a royal gift by royal stewards. An elegant scroll wrapped in a purple ribbon, stamped in black wax, just stamped in black wax, the symbol of grapes on the vine. Some kind of royal message to each of you. And would someone like to read this out loud to all of us as I send this to the world background part of the Discord? Moss, do your best.
Hear ye. By the royal decree of the king and queen. Oh, should I be serious for this?
It's up to you. Doesn't matter to me.
By the royal decree of the king and the queen. This traveler is a noble emissary of the nation of Allatour. They are to be granted liberties fitting the station of royal guardsmen, and have been given specific instruction to aid the populace in such times of uncertainty. Obstruct their justice, and it shall be a slight to the king, the queen, and the nation of Allatour, punishable by banishment, flogging, public humiliation, and or execution. Signed and sealed, King Ferdinand Entree III, rightful King of Allatour, man of 1,000 words, ruler of bread and wine. Queen Evelyn Entree, rightful Queen of Allatour, former Duchess of Travaidu, woman of the healing cloth, ruler of silk and spice.
Personally signed by both the king and the queen, granting legitimacy to this document handed over to all four of you.
We got badges.
That being handed over, I will now turn the spotlight over to you. If you wish to talk to each other, if you wish to talk to any NPCs before this great journey ensues, please let me know. But most importantly, there must be a convention of the four of you, because every adventuring party needs a name. Something for the stories to remember in your grand exploits.
Well, we don't have one of those, so.
Oh, okay.
Hold up, everybody, hold up. We need to figure this out. Okay, so we're all agreed? We're all agreed on this one, right?
Certainly.
It seems a little immodest, but yes.
I think it's catchy.
I like it.
It was Hathor's idea.
Ah. Very well, then. And Hathor will turn her back around to the king and the queen and be, or I guess, are we still in the room with them?
Yeah, let's say it's the king and the queen.
Sure. She's just like announcing it to an empty, like, hallway.
I think she's losing it.
And I'm talking to an empty room, I gotta say.
For as long as we are here to serve you and the populace, you may know us as Les Jolis, or the Pretty Ones.
Les Jolis. Alwyn Pavel scoffs a little bit. Georges and Amelie both just go, whoa. And they kind of applaud a little bit. The king and the queen go, Les Jolis. A name fit for history. Perfect. For towns all across Allatour shall look forward to the visits that Les Jolis shall give them if they are lucky enough to cross paths with you. And they bow, and she stops talking.
If I can, I would like to talk to My father.
Perfect. Excellent. And actually,
Father.
let me just get a quick rundown of who everybody's going to talk to. So we got
My father.
Cass with Alwyn.
Your father.
Sherry, anybody you're to chat with?
Then I would like to go find Palm and talk to her in private.
Palm LaCroix. Pierre Hayes. My god damn it. Blurso. Shit. Who you want to talk to?
You're just guessing who he's going to talk to.
I don't know if like every named character so far is here or not, but is Jeff here?
Your papa.
Yeah.
Your papa is in
Your father.
attendance, yes.
I already asked Bjorhaze for advice, so I feel like I don't want to like bother him right now. Like, I'll go talk to my dad if he's available.
Jeff Bumperdinger is here, yes.
Nice,
It will never not be
sorry.
funny. And Hathor.
You know, I gotta talk to Higgy a little bit.
I got you.
But also, I want to do a thing,
Okay.
too.
What else do you want to do? Or we can do that when we get to you. That sounds
Yes.
good? Perfect. Everybody here just roll me a d4. Actually, wait, what the fuck? Roll me initiative. That works.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Okay.
9.
18.
18. Cass, we focus in
7.
on you first.
Wait, is it plus initiative? Because then I got a 10.
Excellent. Cass, we focus in on you first. As we focus in on you, you're able to pull Alwyn Pavel aside. You're able to find him packing his things, preparing to depart back to his personal castle east of the capital.
Father?
You hear a come in.
Just a moment of your time before we part ways for the foreseeable future. I know that you don't like me. I know that you tolerate me because you have to. And I know that my reputation has suffered in the last few weeks from the rumors spread from the night of the festival. But it is important to me that you know that despite the rumors in the following days, that I was genuinely and wholeheartedly trying to do right by the king and the queen on that night. For once, my reputation was not the priority, and I am disappointed that maybe not all saw that. But it may seem silly, as I know I may not seem to care for your opinion as little as you seem to care for mine, but it was important to me that you knew that before I left.
Firstly, your reputation should always be your top priority. However, the mutterings of servants within castle walls do not hold the weight which they can seem to when within the castle. For news has been passed along to lords and ladies, dukes and duchesses, and the common people believe wholeheartedly that the Honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Pavel III participated in a great chase against an assailant looking to harm the king and the queen. And the kind words of the king have been spread across this great nation. You have done a good job.
I'm glad you think so. I won't forget myself again.
Give me a persuasion check or a deception check, but don't tell me which one you roll.
Okay. I rolled a nat 1.
He looks at you as you say that, and continuing your statement, says to you, I don't believe you will forget yourself, but I believe you may fall back on bad habits. The tendency for failure.
I suppose I'll have to convince you with my actions instead of my words.
Yes. But I think it is only appropriate for appearances that I grant you some assistance on your journey. A show of strength.
How kind.
Going into his personal luggage, you're able to see he packs very light. Several outfits to rotate through for servants and stewards to launder. Does not pack, although packs his signature weapons of a branding iron and a whip. Doesn't seem to have an excess of items to bestow upon you. Digging through his baggage, you are bestowed with 2 gifts from your father. Please read to me both of these things, which I'm sending to the shop catalogs channel right now.
Presents?
Well, I have the Pavel's Goodwill, leather working tools, granting proficiency in leatherworking, and a ring of mule steed. Can summon a mule steed once per long rest.
Go mules!
Go mules!
Go mules! Roll mules!
Excellent. Very excellent.
As he hands these 2 gifts over to you, he says, the mule is not elegant, but the mule is also not distracted. A common mule can get the job done.
I'll get this job done. We both depend on it.
That much is true. The ring is called the donkey's ass. I found it fitting.
It's a little on the nose, don't you think?
And people say I cannot be comedic at times. Huh.
I accept the gifts and I put on the ring. I put the leather tools away. And it is not so blatant that I wouldn't be able to deny it as a great slight. But I sort of lift my hands as though I might reach out to shake his hand and then clasp them behind my back and nod at him.
Give me an intimidation check.
Give him that
Happily.
up high, down low, too
do
slow.
Do I roll the same die that just fucked me?
Yes.
It rolled a 20 and then a 1. I'm just realizing now.
So now it should be another 20.
So now it should be another 20.
Yeah.
The pendulum
Exactly,
swings.
it must swing
Back and forth.
Ball's rolling up.
Ball's rolling up.
I got a 10, so smack in the middle.
10?
So a 16 total.
Ball's rolling up.
Ball's rolling up.
He looks to you, and before turning his attention back to his things, he simply says to you, he looks down at your hands, watches you do that, kind of watches you kind of straighten yourself and look, you know, your usual prideful looks as he goes, keep such displays for private time. And he turns and then, with no further good wishes, goes back to his things.
I turn and call, See you around, Owen. And I don't slam the door, but I close it kind of hard.
As you close the door kind of hard, you're able to, first of all, in your pack now, massive, very old school leatherworking tools rolled into a leather, basically like a leather sheet, essentially. They weigh like 15 pounds. It's like a ridiculous
What a
weight.
dick!
And you're able to see that the ring, which you can now adorn if you wish, a very simple silver, seemingly smithed from the same things that were used to construct the Pavel estates, with the gilding around the slanted roofs, and you're able to recognize that no matter which direction you turn the ring, the ass of the donkey is always facing up towards you.
I look down at it with vague, and I say, when I summon you, I am naming you Alwyn. And I continue on my way.
Oh, we'll get to that. Oh, excellent.
Yes.
Anything else for you?
That is all for me.
Okay. Can I get another initiative roll from everybody here, except for you, Cass?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Eight.
8, okay. Blurso.
Natural 20.
A nat
Hey,
20.
yo!
Which I
Hey,
believe
yo!
plus your modifiers means that you're above a dirty 20.
Ooh, so it does. At about a 21.
Blurso. You want to speak to your father, correct?
Indeed.
As you come upon the guest wing that Björhaze was oh so lonely inhabiting, you are able to come across your father, Jeff Bumperdinger, assisting Björhaze Beset in stacking up his possessions and getting them ready for the teleportation back to his castle out east. You are able to recognize that Björhaze completely overpacked. As he teleported in, there was no need to worry about servants or stewards or anything, or any kind of like roadmen, things like that. So he has an insane amount of lab equipment, an insane amount of magical items here. He's always working on something or another, always conducting some kind of magical research. As Jeff, helping out Björhaze, looks and sees you approaching and then goes to embrace you, as a father should with his son.
Ah, nice. I return the embrace.
As you guys hug for a moment, he pulls away from you and goes, Blurso, this is going so much better than I ever would have expected.
I know, right?
You're doing an exceptional job. Fully just expected, I'm going to be very transparent with you, I fully just expected you to work as a servant for Björhaze and just kind of move up the ranks from there slowly, but you have fully gotten the favor of the king and the queen, and now you're going to become a storybook hero. That's incredible. That's wonderful. Excellent job.
Hooray, thank you. Good thing we got attacked by this vampire dude, right?
He like looks around and he's like, well, you know, the best way to succeed is through a little bit of chaos and luck. So that's absolutely wonderful. But yeah, just a quick question for you. Do you talk to the king and the queen often?
I don't think I have at all yet. Out of character, is that true?
No, you really haven't said anything to them, except for like a simple yes to King Entree when you were given this offer. As Jeff goes, shit. Because I was gonna hope you like put in a good word for me. I've been looking at like some good, like cave systems like out north and like. But we can always get into that a little bit later. If you ever come into contact with them again, maybe like toss a good word my way. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, 100%.
Thank you. He then embraces you again and is like, we're in this together. Oh, it's been so much work and it's finally paying off just through random luck.
Heck yeah, we gotta take what comes our way.
Exactly. Yeah. He kind of steadies his own personal quest for a moment and looks to you and goes, but Blurso, in kind of settling things quickly, I want to be very honest with you, and I think your mother and I both believe that you are destined for great things, and this may not be a very conventional path, but I think you're going to succeed at this, and I think you're going to do a great job. And when this is all over and you return a hero with riches and lands, just know, even now, as we try to rise through the ranks, you have my full support.
Oh, hooray, thank you. And thank you for teaching me to stand up to adversity.
Of course. Of course. And hopefully you've used all of your father's tricks of saying please and thank you and telling people when they're being mean to you and all of those things that I taught you years ago. Hopefully that is what you're talking about, right? Or do you mean like hurting people? Because I didn't teach you how to do that.
Oh no, I just meant like the adversity of like life in general, you know, like when the going gets tough, you gotta
the tough get going. He like fatherly like kind of punches you in the arm and goes, exactly. And speaking about when the going gets tough, I actually wanted to. So now I've actually been kind of practicing, because we didn't expect the Royal Festival to go this way. We wanted to do this a little more publicly, but Beer Hayes and I were working on something just for you, for all your great work as a sommelier, okay?
Oh, wonderful.
And he pulls out, wrapped in a simple festival paper, he hands to you a small wooden box, a present from father to son to wish you well on your journey.
I take the box and open it.
So you rip the paper. You rip the paper off and open the box up. You are able to see an amulet. This amulet has a symbol on it. It is a symbol of a wine glass tipped over, wine spilling out, with a full bottle of wine standing upright. And you're able to see that the amulet is made of an elaborate silver with purple inlays stamped within. Make sense?
Mm.
And Tony, could you read what I'm sending out to the shop catalog chat right now?
Absolutely. Okay, I found the channel. All right. Jeff's blessing, amulet of the drunkard. Pros. While you are wearing the amulet, drinking any alcoholic beverage will grant 4d4 plus 4 hit points. Nice. Cons. Any drink, no matter how small, will make you incredibly intoxicated, granting you disadvantage on...
There's supposed to be more than that, granting disadvantage on any ability checks, attack rolls, or saving throws.
Nice.
It is a way to heal yourself, but it also it basically gives you the poison condition as well. Pros and cons.
Alrighty.
Now this won't, Jeff goes, now this won't help with hangovers, but again, if the going gets tough, it may save your life. And I think social convention can go out the window if you need to patch yourself up for any reason. Make sense?
I'll be sure to use it wisely.
He looks to you, he nods, and he goes, well, Blur, you've never not been wise.
Oh. Thank you.
And your mother would be very proud of you.
As she would of you as well.
Tears well up a little bit in his eyes as he comes to just very softly embrace you once more. As he does that, apparently with no objection, anybody else you want to talk to?
Probably not. To be honest, that's probably about it.
Best of luck to you, Blurso. I have crafted the amulet to speak to your strengths. You shall do well. I'm looking forward to you visiting the castle.
Of course, I will return with only the most exemplary tales of adventure and saving the world from vampires.
Well, I'm sure it will put more life in me. The vampires will not know what hit them. Best of luck. as he turns back to his things. That good for you, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay, he just kind of disappears. As Sherry and Hathor, please give me an initiative roll.
Beset fades into the ether.
He does.
15.
You go first.
Okay.
What'd you get?
8.
Oh.
Hathor, as these people scatter.
I had 2 things I wanted to do.
Okay, absolutely. As everybody begins to find their way back to their proper dwellings, where do you find yourself?
I would like to duck into like an empty like alcove or niche or whatever, and I'd like to cast Alter Self on myself.
Okay.
To make myself look like, you know, your regular old servant, like tiefling woman, but like, you know, dark red skin, you know, dark red hair, just looking like a regular, like, looking like a, what does there, I don't know if there's a lot of tieflings in this place, so.
No, so this is a predominantly human nation.
Yeah, and I look like a human. Okay. You know, my hair up in a cloth, hands rough from doing laundry work my whole life, you know.
Okay.
And I would like to go around and figure out what the fuck people are saying about me and my parents.
Okay, as you are no stranger to hard work, and therefore ingraining yourself in these little pockets of the working class of this castle is not very difficult for you. As you are able to find yourself, I'll say that there is a washer room, and there is a functioning kitchen right now, preparing different foodstuffs for, like preserved foods for your journey. Would you want to go to the washer room, or do you want to go to the kitchen?
I want to go to the kitchen.
As you go to the kitchen,
I come in with 2 big things. Like, I see a girl, like, coming out from the well with 2 things, and I'm like, I'm new here. The stewardess sent me to help you out. Here, I'll take these. You go do something else. And I say it in pretty good Allatourian.
Yes, you do, as you speak in Allatour.
Because it's the language of love and passion. Of course I know.
Of course it is. As you take these 2 buckets full of water, you walk them into the kitchen, and you begin filling up several buckets of like clean water, and then kind of just like going with like the natural flow, just like the work here. As one cook kind of steps away from like cutting cheese and cutting dried meats, you just kind of step in and begin doing the work as well. And I just like, no one kind of gives you a second thought. Give me a quick perception check.
Oh, I'm good at those. Oh, but I don't. Let me go with this one. Ooh!
Ooh.
Hehehe. It was almost a 6, but now it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. You are able to hear someone tending to a wood fire oven, like basically behind you at like a central, like it's like a central serving island, and you're able to hear someone at a wood stove behind you, 2 chefs kind of knock into each other, and you are able to hear them go in Allatour. Have you heard of the Aphrodite cleric, though? Apparently the one during the chase. It's been so long since we've kind of swapped any stories there. And you're able to hear the second person kind of walk with them, kind of like, you know, gathering supplies, like continue making these recipes. You're able to hear them go, yes, I actually have. And I have heard that, well, the pink-haired mistress has traded one lover for another. And you're able to hear the first individual go, oh, do tell, do tell. As the response goes, yes, well, I heard that Con LaCroix has been heard wailing in agony for the last several weeks, that he has not been visited by his pink-haired angel. And have I noticed that Björhaze Beset's personal guard has had a bit of a pep in his step since they have had their midnight rendezvous? Who would expect a man of that stature to be able to be so limber?
She also giggles a little bit.
How long do you keep like listening to them talk?
she lets them go a little bit longer about her sex life because she finds it incredibly funny.
Okay.
But she will try to naturally, because she's very much bothered by the idea of people being afraid of her.
Okay. Got it.
And so she wants to she'll spend an afternoon just like going around helping out, but like to like other like, you know, like maids or like scullery workers or whatever. She'll just be like, you know, like in casual conversations, so like they're folding laundry and just, or like hanging up to dry outside, just being like, yeah, like the new adventuring party, they're quite something, huh? And she will try and naturally steer it to being about like, what have you heard about her? Like, is she scary? You know?
I'll say that we naturally transition to you kind of like, once you realize that like the kitchen is talking about your sex life specifically, we kind of like naturally transition, kind of like fade into you doing similar work within the washer room of like this like main like laundry area, where people are kind of scrubbing clothing up and down these metal cylinders, trying to make sure that everything is clean as possible. And as you gear the conversation towards yourself, you're able to hear, well, I'm not one to believe in rumors, but I hear that apparently the room that she slept in, that her duvet and her comforter and the sheets of her bed were found 6 stories down, just burned to a crisp. And may I say, that doesn't seem like very noble behavior. I'll say it. Sounds like the work of magical beings, which can be uncouth in a way.
Oh yes, of course. Like, yeah, just more work for us to do, you know. And
as you watch as like a washerman comes over, a big basket of like wet laundry, kind of comes over and begins like kind of pitting it up in like a rotating line system that goes out of a window. You're able to hear as he goes, well, what would you expect? You know what her parents are. The rumors are already around as if the history is not known. The offspring of an angel and a demon, and clearly the demon side is winning.
Hang on, sorry,
Not
one
a problem.
second.
Not a problem at all. The drama.
Here's the motherfucking tea.
Well, it's like, and it's very much like accurate of like, what do you think people are doing? Oh yeah, you're all good? Okay, excellent. No, go do your thing if you need to go do your thing.
I just needed to close my door.
Got it. Yeah, little Gremlin.
Oof, yeah, let me get back into my hidey hole.
Yes, as you are here with a nat 20 persuasion check, the washerwoman next to you, not the person that just insulted your parents, says, oh, you quiet yourself down now. That's no way to talk about a lady which you personally have never met before, and I think that her hair is absolutely exquisite. Did you see her wearing all white to the Harvest Day Festival, to the Royal Gala? Could you imagine the confidence that must take? And I must say that I don't think her lineage has anything to do with any powers or any indications of her morality. I think she's a woman of her own. Kind of like slaps him a little bit.
Oh. So, like, I think after hearing that, Hathor would have casually, as stealthy as she could, slipped a gold into that woman's pocket without her knowing. And then, ducked out of the way at one point, dropped alt herself because it lasts for 8 hours. Mm-hmm. And it's great. And she would have, I do have good hair. And then she will make her way up to where Higgy is.
As you go, yes.
She vaguely thinks of Khan and then thinks, he'll get over it, it's fine.
You also have no idea of knowing if any of these statements were true or not.
Well, she knows that the Higgy thing is true.
Oh, so. Obviously, yeah.
She's like, I was there, bitch. I'm the reason.
You go and you find your way up to a guest wing of the castle, the one in which Bjorhaze Basset is being kept in. And a few rooms down, you're able to see an interaction between Blurso and an older man with similar hair color, similar facial features, as you're able to see an open door, Higgy sitting on a footrest, a massive blade in front of him as he and sharpens it. As you're able to see a giant albino python slithering around him.
She'll just knock on the door frame, lean her hip up against it, and just be like, "You busy?"
You watch as Higgy one more basically like sweep of the sharpening stone and goes 1,000. Not anymore, no. As he sheaths his blade and gestures you in.
Timing.
And gestures you in.
She will come in. She'll close the door behind her.
As the door is closed, what do you say? What do you do?
So, last 2 weeks have been fantastic for me personally. I don't know about you. We haven't really talked. We've been kind of busy. Yeah, you know, but
yes,
which has been great, you know.
Yes.
But I wanted to touch base with you about what you think about all of this, and you know, I suppose I'm heading out soon to go bring life and love and peace to the land. So I don't know. I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Higgy continues sitting as he puts his blade to the side. You watch as Nebe slithers up and takes up her position on his shoulders as he goes, "How quickly things can change. But I think this adventure will be good for the both of us."
Yes, of course. It's something like this is the whole reason I left the Arbor in the first place.
As Higgy kind of like considers, you know, like how much to bring up, and then goes, "And similarly, why I left home as well."
I don't think you'd choose to go down the same road I'd be going down, you know? You'll take one castle, I'll take the other.
Higgy lowers his head very slightly, and you both speak of honesty so frequently in your meetups that Higgy looks to you and goes, "Another band of adventurers has been called together by the king and the queen, separate than your advanced division, and I've accepted the contract."
Yeah, like, of course you should accept it. You should be free to do what you wish and what you need to do. Sorry, I'm reading the chat, and it's so blurry for me that I have to be like.
I just get to see the comments of my grammatical fuck-ups in time.
But, no, I of course am going to miss you terribly.
And without missing a beat there, he goes, and I'm going to miss you as well.
I mean, I would hope so. Sorry, I have ADHD hands.
You're all good. Higgy nods and goes, "I will miss just thinking with you.
It'll be a new challenge to get unused to your absence.
Give me an insight check. Which one do you love more? You can't love them all equally.
Who's your favorite?
That is a dirty 20 again.
Dirty 20. If it was intentional, I'm very impressed. If it was unintentional, it's very convenient. As for both, Moss, the way you're portraying it, the way that Higgy is talking to you is similar to the way that you are talking to him. As the conversation grows longer, as the decisive nature of you two parting ways, the words are becoming harder for him to summon, as it seems that history is repeating itself once again.
Hathor is going to just lean across the space between them, take his face in her hand, and pull him into, like, the fiercest, most, like, not desperate kiss, but absolutely something that is both, it both tastes of, like, this great love and also this farewell. And then after she does it, she just rests her forehead against his, and like their noses brush against each other, and she just goes, "It's for now. We always see each other."
As this passionate kiss takes place, layered in its meaning, as you pull away, forehead to forehead, your eyes now closed, as you speak that, Higgy responds with, "I know that to be true." And your eyes still closed, you're able to feel something onto your choker necklace, as Higgy has just placed something there.
She just, like, fully slides into his arms for, like, an embrace, and is like, "Thank you." She will look down at what she has.
And as you look down,
It's just like a fucking, like, you know, early 2000s, like, Juicy.
It's half a best friend's necklace.
Oh, fuck.
best friends forever. Ring.
We're just really good friends.
Sent to the shop catalog, you were able to look down and see a pebble inscribed with a hot pink rune.
Should I read it?
Yes, you can.
Higgy's Promise, Rune of Charm. Activating this charm will grant you great advantage on charming a person. However, it can only affect one target at a time. It can only affect one target per long rest. Ooh.
Higgy looks to you as you kind of like admire it and goes, you always seem to be fascinated by my runes, and I thought that one of them could play to your strengths instead of mine.
My strengths? And she kind of gets this, like, little devilish smile on her face, and she's like, "Oh, but Higgy, I would never need something like this with you." And then cut to black.
It immediately fades to black. Instantly, one of you get like almost all the way there, and then like Higgy goes, "Wait!" He gets up, shuts the door, which was open the whole time, and then
I shut the door behind me as I walked in.
Right. Oh, sorry about that. Yes. As we then hard cut to black. Hard cut to black. Cherie, where do you find yourself?
Once everyone parts ways, she kind of follows the crowd and goes back to her room to pack up her things, which doesn't take her very long. She packs light wherever she goes. And once she's finished, we'll give a on the connecting doors between her and Palm's room.
Palm says through the connecting doors, playfully, "Who is it?"
A straw golem.
She opens the door and goes, "I understand that joke didn't land, but you break my heart by bringing it up."
I had you for a moment, didn't I?
I was quivering in my small clothes, yes.
Well, then it's a good thing I'm here.
My protector.
Closes the connecting door behind me.
She guides you into her room.
Have you heard the news?
She breathes deeply and goes, "Yes, and I just want to be clear that although your company will be sorely missed, I believe that there is no person better suited to such adventures."
Thank you. I would have to agree with that. In all forms.
Just, and she, like, you watch her, like, brow kind of furrow for a second as she brings a hand gently up and places it on the center of your chest as she goes, "Sherry, you're a kind woman. You're a protector, like I said before. I understand that a woman of your past and of your occupation, it can be complicated, but never forget that you are kind. Never let fury drive your actions."
Takes her hand, gently kisses her knuckles and says, "I will do my best to not forget that on the road. I fear I've forgotten myself at the Harvest Festival."
In that moment, you were a determined warrior. And I want to be transparent with you and tell you that I have done what I can to quell any rumors of people fear-mongering the presence which you had as you raced through the halls.
I'd rather them gossip about that.
I shall light the fires once again.
No. No rumors are better than any rumors, but that is difficult in a place like this.
That is true. And as you mention rumors, she goes, "In your absence," and you see, like, she kind of struggles to summon the right words to speak about this.
I put my hand under her chin and tilt it up to look at me. You may speak plainly with me."
She looks longingly at you, and a slight, like, almost involuntary smile creeps across her face as she looks at you, and as the smile begins to fade, she says, "It is possible in your absence there will be courting of people. It is possible the next time you see me I may have a suitor."
It's to be expected.
Palm nods in agreement with that. She then asks you a question and says, "Would that affect this?" And she kind of presses her hand a little bit harder into your chest.
Nothing could affect this. I swore to you I'd be willing to have you in any circumstances. That has not changed.
Give me an insight check as you say that.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. 16.
16 is more than enough. You are familiar with her. And as you say that, just behind her eyes, you see a sense of relief and a genuine sense of not only passion, but love as well. And in your mind, you realize that the Palm understands her position well. And the main fear for her is ending up with someone where it's a good political move, but there is not that kinship, not that friendship. Simply people that exist together but don't want to be together. And she acknowledges the difficulty of the situation that you are both in right now, but knowing that you stand to benefit nothing from being with her. And what I say by that is like there is no, you are not gaining power, you're not getting lands, not getting any kind of like trade routes, trade agreements, things like, you're not strengthening the power of a house. You are with her simply because you are choosing to do so. And that, although there is not guilt, there is worry that one day it may be discovered. There is relief that she has found someone who cares for her. Not LaCroix, but Palm.
I just squeeze her hand a little tighter. As heir to House LaCroix, you do have say in who you choose. Do you know your parents better than I do? They only want what is best for you.
That is true.
Make sure the person you choose knows that as well.
She smiles very slightly and goes, I will use my best judgment, but Sherry, you are an excellent judge of character. And even if you are not by my father's side. And she kind of like chuckles because it's going to be like a little bit dark what she's about to say, but it's more like it's a comedic thing. And she goes, the shadow that looms behind him, I am sure everyone will be on their best behavior.
Above tail real quick. Cherie's not going to be around for courting, is
No,
she?
but it's like, but just like, to give some insight as to what you just said, even if you're not there, your reputation in the last 2 years is so incredibly prevalent that it's like, oh, I can't mess with this family because she's going to come and find me. Like, you know what I'm talking about? So,
I think they'll have their hands full enough with the command you have over a room.
Well then, I cannot say I am a very commanding person, but I guess there is always time to practice. And in like a courting kind of like flirty way, she steps back from you. She puts her hands like her fingers interlocked up to her stomach, and she goes, Sir Sherry of House LaCroix, draw your blade.
Like a robot, drops to one knee and presents her sword and like bows her head.
As you present your sword up to her, she, parroting back what you said to her, you say that in a way we will always be with each other.
Yes.
I wish to make that even more true than it is now. And as Palm gently bends down you are as you're able to you are able to look at this. There's no insinuation of like you have to like close your eyes or whatever. You're able to watch as very, very gently, it's not even moving from your grasp, with one hand cupping the underneath of your blade, she kisses the top of your blade. A blessing from a lord's eldest daughter, a blessing known in all of the old stories, very fairy tale and esque, but in this world where magic and stories and romance carries legitimate power, you receive this. Please read that to me.
Palm's favor turns her greatsword into a +1 magical weapon.
As that concludes, Sherry, how do you and Palm kind of conclude your... As she does that, she goes, "Now rise, good night, and ride well with my favor."
Does so, rises slowly, sheaths her weapon, cups her face in her hands, and like tilts her head up and says, "May I write to you?"
She takes your hands in hers and says, "Oh, Sherry, mon cœur, you didn't even have to ask." She squeezes your hands.
Like, crush her face to mine in a kiss.
Oh.
And as I pull back, I say, "If you'd like to practice how to be commanding, I don't expect to leave for some time."
We'll get in the bed. And we are able to fade to black from there.
"Yes, my lady."
As we fade to black, we cut to the next day, as the sun begins to rise in the east. I'm going to change the music, and then we're going to finish off. Make sense?
Yeah.
As the sun rises, you all find yourself either alone or with romantic company. You know that today is the first day of a grand journey, for you are to ride out from the eastern gates of Jumelage and begin your grand quest. As you ready yourselves with your weapons and your magical items, you are able to come to the large grand gates of the capital city. A main road leading out to the King and the Queen's Road, a path going to the north and the south sections of Allatour. As the main gates begin to open up, you are all given noble steeds. All except for you, Cass.
I had a funny feeling.
As the stable master comes up to you and goes, "And oh right, my lord, I was actually given express a command by your father, Sir Alwyn, and told that you will be riding out on a steed personally blessed by himself and by your family."
Yeah. And what's your name? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Jacques.
Jacques. I'd like you to meet someone, and I twist my ring and summon my fucking mule. And I gesture to him, and I say to Jacques, "Jacques, it's important to me that you know that this mule here, this sturdy motherfucker, his name is Alwyn."
You watch as you twist your ring, and as you gesture grandly back, you watch as the roots and the grasses and the hoof prints in the dirt here, leading out to the roads of Allatour, you watch as they begin to summon together. And from 4 perfect hoof prints in the ground, with leaves and rocks beginning to trail their way up 4 legs to a stumpy body and a sturdy head, you watch as a 4.5, 5 foot tall mule is summoned before you as you hear as Alwyn has been summoned for the first of many times.
Let's go, buddy. Look, I won.
As you throw your satchels and your provisions up and on, you were able to watch as Hathor, Blurso, and Sherry, you watch as elegant black and brown and white stallions are provided to them, easily with their heads held high, 6.5 feet tall. Mounting them would cause your friends to sit a good 2, maybe 3 feet above you.
I lean over to Alwyn's ear, Alwyn the mule, and I say, very quietly to him, I resent you, but it's not your fault.
As you kind of feel Alwyn go, and just kind of like shake a little bit.
And Hathor look up at the horse, look back to the attendants, and be like, I don't know how to ride a horse. I'm just gonna use my broom, if that's alright with all of you.
Oh, that's more than okay with me, lady.
Cool. She'll take out her broom, she'll make it fly, and she will be at the same height as the rest of the horses, looking down on Cass.
As Jacques takes
Hello down there.
the elegant horse away, Blurso and Sherry, you're able to mount up as well, and tossing your belongings on and getting ready for your grand journey. Everybody here is able to look back, and with one final gesture, you're all able to see Higgy, Alwyn Pavel, Palm, Georges, Amelie, Khan, Jeff, and Björhaze all gesture to you, waving handkerchiefs, waving happily, and shouting prayers and phrases of encouragement as your journey is set to begin. Does anybody exit with flair?
Oh, of course.
What do you do?
I send a shimmering hot pink fire-like kiss that morphs into an arrow that just gently scatters across where Higgy's heart is.
Higgy puts his hand to his heart, and he jokingly stumbles back a little bit before you're able to watch as he holds up a black rune stone with red inscribed as he activates it, and as he holds it up, you're able to watch as he drags it through the air and makes a heart for you in the sky.
I love that, man. And she'll tie her hair up and then get ready to go.
Get ready to go. Anybody else exit with flair?
I put on my tinted yellow glasses that I had made, and I avoid eye contact with my dad.
You just kind of see him up going, look at my son. Look at how he brings honor to the reliable mules of House Pavel. He gives you one wave and then puts his hand down.
Yep.
Sherry, do you exit with flair?
As we turn back, I give a formal salute to the king and queen and to Duke Georges and Duchess Amelie. And as I'm doing this broad gesture, I mouth, "Be well," in Palm's direction, but it is meant for anyone who catches her lips.
You watch as Georges, the entree guards, the king and the queen, and all of the LaCroix guards as well salute you back in solidarity. You watch as Amelie, hands clasped in front of her, she and nods her head up towards you, and slowly, maybe about a second or two after everybody else, you are able to watch as Saint-Pierre and salutes you as well. George's handkerchief fully out, waving it to you, just shouts, "And be well, Sherry! We shall see each other soon, I am sure."
Of course, my friend. Of course.
As Palm, handkerchief as well, puts one hand to her heart, having received your message. Blurso, do you exit with any flair?
Not particularly, but I give the horse some scritches. I don't know if horses like scritches or not.
Yes, they do. Most
Great.
animals do.
Nice.
So where'd you get all those sugar cubes?
Ooh.
You are able to hear Jeff go, "That's my boy!" As Beer Hayes goes, "Look at that! 'Tis Blurso Bumperdinger, the sir, who is so dedicated to his journey he cannot even spare us a second glance. Everybody applaud for the boy." And you are able to hear a slow old man clap as I'm gonna make a quick persuasion roll. It's not one, and with a slow clap of Jeff and Beer Hayes, you are ushered out of the eastern castle gates. As I gotta get a little bit more, we gotta keep it together. As the gates finish opening, you are able to see much. Again, Jumelage worked as a point between the two sections of Allatour. And as the gates open with the morning with the morning sun shining towards you, you're able to feel the warmth of it on your face as you see the rolling hills of Allatour proper. There's a slight sweet breeze in the air as carriages and travelers and messengers travel in and out of the gate as well. But you understand that you are destined for greater things. As you all look out to the countryside, do you all spur your horses and begin your journey?
Yeah.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Burr, my
I want to
mule.
fly really up high, then swoop back down with the rest of them.
And like it is the ending to a Disney film, Hathor, as these two horses and a mule exit out of the gates, you, with your arrow in tow, you loop up, around, and with one final flare, exit out of the gates once more. And as you guys set upon the roads heading east into Allatour proper, your adventure has begun, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Ladies and gentlemen, did we all have a good time?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the best time ever!
Oh
Oh
my
my god, Kate! Ugh,
Moss.
It's so cute.
it's so cute.
You're so
goodness.
cute.
Heather and Haggy.
Yeah, they love each other, but it's right person, wrong time.
The amount of like Moss talking with you about like Higgy and Hawthorne's relationship, the amount of like that conversation probably seems very simple to everybody else here. To like it is like fucking 4D chess with you, Moss.
Yes.
Where I'm like every single line has so many deeper meanings
Yes.
to it that just doesn't. Like it really feels like talking to someone that you're in a relationship with, where it's like because you're not gonna be like, and you know, like I'm just like you don't have to explain everything. Where it's like for example, it's not like I'm sad because I went to the grocery store and they didn't have my favorite drink because that drink is what happened when I was a kid and I was sad. Like, you don't have that like you don't say that like every fucking time.
We don't
It's
need to info dump.
like, every line there had backstory. It just felt so good to like trust a scene partner and be like, hey, like this just kind of makes this just makes sense, you know?
Yeah, and the whole line of like Hathor being like, I just have to get, unused to like waking up to you every day.
Yeah.
To not waking up to you every day.
And also Shuri and Palm, I have so many plans for these relationships. It's gonna be so good. I love
Shuri and Palms is like so tragic. It's gonna make me weep.
it's so good.
Oh my god. And also just Cass's whole dynamic with his dad is like, whoa.
I want to
I
see.
smell daddy issues.
I want to see Blur and Cass sit down and talk about their fathers.
Mhm. And
Wait,
like,
your dad didn't give you a stuffed animal when you cried as a child? That's not cool.
And here's a fun thing going forward. You guys get to decide where you go next. There are two main roads, the King's Road and the Queen's Road, leading north and south. There's also off-roading, which you can do. As a very important thing in this game is going to be D&D traveling. I am really betting on myself to make traveling fun every time we do it, and we're going to hope that I have the skills to do so. But you are all going to tell me where you want to go first. And you are actually able to make a travel plan and say, like, probably the best way to do it would go, I want to go to this castle first and visit this family first, and then find the best route to do that. If you want, that's what I would recommend. Or if you want to, I want to stop like all the little towns. I want to go visit like, the Fertile Coast. I want to go visit, the Path of the Cow, the Path of the Pig, things like that. If you wish to do that, so you guys just let me know.
Fertile Coast. So I can pray everybody gets babies.
You're guys gonna disassemble the Stork Empire.
One woman on a broom is gonna bring more life into this world.
I mean, I already have I'm gonna spoil it like a little bit, but I already have like an idea of being like, you know what it takes to run this kind of operation? Just fully like the most unromantic stork of all time.
Oh my god.
So excited.
Oh, but yes. Oh, it's so wonderful. And I'm sorry if that was kind of railroady. I really just wanted
Not
to get
at
to the main
all.
plot. I'm sorry that we weren't able to deal with those two kobold vampire spawns. They couldn't talk to you anyway.
I forgot they existed.
I
No.
had a thought to like go interrogate them, but I'm like, nah.
Yeah, in all honesty, and just to be peek behind the curtain, they couldn't give you anything anyway. They can't talk, so it's not so like, and which was
Then how
already
the fuck were they communicating with Winter Sky Keep?
well, they can receive
Telepathically.
orders from people, but it makes sense. The best soldier behind enemy lines is one that can't give up information. So as Winter Scott Key can, I'm not saying they're unintelligent, but they can't like read, they can't write, and they can't talk. So if they are captured, what are you gonna do? You can just kill them, basically.
I am so excited to I'm just so excited to explore Allatour, and I'm so excited. Are we doing kind of like a monster of the week
Yes,
kind of
yes,
thing?
that's what's gonna be. Yeah,
It's gonna be so much fun.
So the overarching plot and the history is going to come to you naturally. Allatour has a rich history, which I went over with Moss, which you guys will figure out. But overall, generally, like, I'll try to make everything important in one way or the other, but it's going to be Monster of the Week most of the time. Make sense?
Yes.
Nice. I'm looking at the map right now. Drew, where is the castle with no name on the map? Or is it not on the map?
It is the farthest east castle.
It doesn't have a name.
That is to the northeast of the River of Dreams.
Do you see the Golden Land Mountains? It's to the right of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Look to the mountain range and go to the farthest to the right.
I'm looking at it.
Got you.
It's peeking out, being like, hello?
Hi.
We got vampires. I mean, no, we don't.
We have a dragon.
We got a dragon.
We have a fucking dragon. Oh god, and we're level 3.
Dragon.
It's a country away. You're fine.
Yeah.
Wait, where is it on the map? Sorry, I know we just.
Look to the mountain range on the right side of the country. It's the mountain on the farthest right. You'll be able to see it.
I see.
There you go.
I just like the one that says strange road, huh? But it's backwards.
Yeah. I got plans for that. You guys want to buckle up if you're going there.
Gotta buckle our fuckles.
Yep. But with all of that, thank you anybody that is watching this, either now or in the future. We love and we appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for being at the table. And catch us next time for Allatour episode 6, when the adventure begins proper. Okay. Woo! Everybody have a nice evening.
Wee-wee.
Peace out, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Wee wee.